As we move on now to one of the main events, one of the attractions for SmackDown, I thought this was really good. The Firefly Funhouse Match. Before we get into it, I wonder how they'll spin it for the future, or if when Cena comes back, he just won't mention it. Because are they going to spin it like this was all a dream, or Cena was possessed? Because the fact that obviously Cena was working alongside Wyatt with some of this stuff does seem a little bit unrealistic, but it was really, really well done. There was a lot of references to the internet and to just old school WWE stuff, and to John Cena's career as well. And Bray Wyatt got the win, which was good, which I thought he was going to, especially after losing to Goldberg last time. But Cena was great. Obviously, Cena's doing really well in acting, and Cena's a very funny guy, so Cena did as well. I thought Bray Wyatt was pretty funny as a mental case in this match as well. What did you think?
I hated every single minute of it.
Oh, you didn't like it? Okay.
No.
Why?
As good of an actor as Cena is, I actually thought he was shockingly shit in this match, and I'm shocked that Cena did a match like this, if I'm quite honest.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't acting as much as trying to do his kind of crazy, kooky comedy.
Yeah, his acting when Bray disappeared and stuff, absolutely dreadful, terrible.
Well, I just thought he seemed to not react. Like, it didn't seem that he was acting. Kind of similarly on SmackDown, when the puppets appeared, he just kind of stands there with a straight face, which I also think is good, because I don't think right now he's probably not the most amazing actor in the world. If he tried to do anything more than that, it would have looked really, really cheesy.
But that was good. Everything that's happened on SmackDown, the lead up to this, has been fantastic. That is why it's so annoying that it was so shit. Because Cena on SmackDown just gone was amazing.
Yeah, he was
incredible. And then we get.
But I kind of like.
What the fuck is that?
Did you like what they did with taking the audio of Cena saying how he's going to get rid of the most overhyped superstar, and actually using that over the finish? So it was like, yeah, we're going to get rid of the most overhyped superstar. It's you, John Cena. Even though it's not.
That was fine.
I thought that was.
That's just a touch, but that doesn't justify the match being like that at all.
The only problem I have is I just don't know how they're going to justify.
Well, I mean, what
Cena
was
acting
it?
like that?
It was like a short film that was open for interpretation.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. And there was a lot of those. It was just jam packed with references to the past, and even
there was
internet
a lot of
things.
Yeah,
like Vince saying that's good shit. That's something Dean Ambrose complained about after leaving WWE. How he would just say things like, "That's good shit. That's so you," with some of these angles that Dean Ambrose didn't want to do. So I think that was a reference to that, which is quite cool that they would do a reference like that, considering Ambrose isn't there anymore.
I don't get the Saturday Night Main Event bit.
I think they were referencing. I haven't seen what they were referencing, but I would assume that they were doing line for line a promo that happened.
All right, it made no sense, and Cena doesn't have use of his arms and stuff.
No, that didn't.
And the NWO stuff, Cena has fuck all to do with the NWO.
I think they were just doing. It seemed like they were just doing callbacks to things that happened in wrestling, like again with that Bray Wyatt thing. Obviously, he was doing line for line what Eric Bischoff said, because they cut in between the two. No, I don't know why. I'm just saying you have it's a great point. I don't know why. I'd love to speak with the writers of this, and I hope maybe at some point they do a shoot interview or something about it. I would love to know what.
Well, apparently the three people responsible for this was Michael Hayes, Bray Wyatt, and John Cena.
Okay.
Bray Wyatt came up with a lot of the creative, and apparently Cena stepped in and went and changed it for the better. Apparently, Cena did step in and went, "No, we're not doing this. Yeah, we're doing that. That'll be better like this."
Okay.
I'm just shocked. Wouldn't you have preferred a match?
Yeah, but a match wouldn't have been as memorable. Like, especially just not with an empty arena.
This was Bray Wyatt's last chance, and they have fucked him.
I don't think so. I think they're still going to push him.
We thought the House of Horrors match was terrible.
Yeah.
The House of Horrors match I would watch 10 times over.
Oh, I disagree. The House of Horror match was very boring, and I didn't like how they went into the arena. I didn't like the House of Horror match at all.
It was horrific, but they wrestled, and I'd watched that. It makes you realise how, that was better than this.
I disagree with that being better, but I understand this wasn't a wrestling match. Maybe, and in fairness, it was advertised as a match, so I completely understand it. Yeah, like you felt like you were going to get a match and you didn't get a match. And again, I think the match wouldn't have been as memorable with no crowd. It wouldn't have been as good as the one at WrestleMania 30, where the crowd were completely on Bray Wyatt's side, and like there was the story they were telling there was with the crowd and everything.
But they did no wrestling. They did one little tiny bit and then the finish.
Yeah.
And what was it? Was Cena? Was it a dream?
It wasn't a match.
I'm like you. How are they going to get out of that and explain?
I don't know how they're going to get out of it. I think more than likely, knowing WWE, Cena's not going to appear again unless they're desperate ratings-wise, with there being no crowd. I think they'll try and save Cena for when there's a crowd again, because obviously then they can sell tickets based on John Cena appearing and score money. I think for people like Cena and Edge, we're not going to see them again until there's a crowd. So I'm assuming Cena comes back and it doesn't get mentioned, which I don't like that. That's lazy storytelling. I would like an explanation. Maybe Bray Wyatt gives one on SmackDown. We haven't seen, obviously SmackDown's not happened yet, so maybe Bray Wyatt.
So what, is Bray Wyatt just magic now and he can put this spell on any of his opponents? If this is the case, then he could do this to every opponent and be fucking undefeated.
And just beat them, yeah.
Like, why wouldn't
he should have done it to gold.
Why wouldn't all of his matches be a Firefly Funhouse if he has this power?
No, I agree. I do understand.
It's terrible.
I look at it as a video presentation. As for what it was, if you showed me this, and I didn't know it was part of WrestleMania or not, and you just showed like this was something on the network that was like a goofy thing out of kayfabe. As far as a video package, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed some of the references. Didn't get all of them. Didn't get the Saturday night. Didn't really get the NWO one. But I saw what they were doing with mixing in the promo, so I just assumed that they were, of course, referencing them. Okay. I'll agree with you. As a match, it wasn't a match. They're not going to be able to get out of it naturally, so Cena's just going to not mention it. I don't know what's going to happen with Bray Wyatt after this. You bring up a good point. Like, if Wyatt can do this to everyone, then he should be undefeated. It's going to be interesting. I think as a standalone package, I think it was really good, and it was a really good video. But I'll agree with you in terms of I don't know how they're going to get out of it.
Yeah, it just shouldn't have taken place at WrestleMania. I agree with you that if this had just been a goofy video that they put out on the network or on YouTube, then that's what an interesting watch, and it's kind of open for interpretation.
Yeah.
But they've displayed that at WrestleMania and called it a WrestleMania match. Yeah,
it wasn't a match. But the Boneyard match wasn't necessarily a match either, even though I guess it was. But I mean, both these matches had finishes, whether you want to call them finishes or not, but yeah.
I can only think that they did this to make the Boneyard match look better.
I don't think they did. I think they wanted. I assume they just want to make the Fiend look like somebody who we don't know what he's completely capable of. But it does open up plot holes for why he didn't just do that to Goldberg instead of dropping his title to him.
The only bit I enjoyed was the Doctor of Thugonomics, and that's because I love the Doctor of Thugonomics.
Yeah, I didn't think it was as good as last year's thing he did as the Doctor of Thugonomics. I liked him dressing in his first attire. I liked the callback to Cena's first match. That was cool. And the ruthless aggression. And it's just weird that he must have been in a trance or something.
Yeah, I've even watched it back a second time, and admittedly, it was slightly better the second time. Maybe your thoughts got more interesting. Maybe you thought about it a little bit more. And I was trying to work out when Cena was actually Cena and when he was under the trance, and kind of worked out when he went to the ring as the prototype, that was him in the match, and then when he showed up as Dr. Thugonomics, it was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm here, but you've got this funny spell on me where I can talk and rhyme.
Yeah.
And then I did enjoy the last 2 seconds of it where he was back to his normal kit and he was beating the fuck out of Bray Wyatt, but it wasn't Bray Wyatt. That was probably the best bit in it, and the Fiend was behind him. Those kind of 20 seconds, yeah, good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we'll agree to disagree on the quality of the match, whether it was a good match or not. Well, yeah, okay. Well, as a presentation, I liked it and I enjoyed watching it. However, yeah, I definitely agree with you that there are a ton of explanations that would have to happen.